So this is the a6500 that I rented. It's really nice, really small body. Like it feels robust, like the A7 Mark II that I have here videoing, but it's quite a bit lighter, quite a bit smaller. The only thing, Sony does this, and they do this on all their bodies. They put these little metal lugs on here to hold the strap, and then they go and they put the microphone right next to it. I don't know if can we focus on that. Yeah, see, microphone, lug. So you're walking around, that's a problem. So you gotta tape these little guys down. But other than that, I quite like the body. It's got a hot shoe, so you can get your microphone on it, and it's got an audio in. Doesn't have audio out, so you can't monitor your audio, and I have noticed that the audio is pretty hot coming out of this. But hot, you know, I wasn't peaking too bad. I can pull it back in post, so that's not a big deal. And then the only other weird thing, like my A7 Mark II has a side door for the SD card. Here, the SD card is in the battery compartment, along with, oh, there we go. Yeah, you got to convince the camera not to see a face, or it won't focus on anything else, which I guess is a good thing. Anyway, it's in the battery compartment right there. So it's a little goofy, but unlike the teeny tiny little RX100, you can put a tripod on this without blocking the battery door. But yeah, overall I like it. It's got enough control dials. I always like to set the movie record button to like one of the custom buttons. So I've got like a C2 button up here, because I hate, and you know, somebody tell me, we have like years and years of design that says that the movie button on cameras is supposed to look like this little red dot, and they're super tiny, and it's like, okay, okay, one thing, so if I'm holding it, right, if I put a little tripod on this, or something to grip it with while I'm vlogging, how am I supposed to get to that super low button? And then, I mean, it's just so hard to hit. Like, you can't feel it. It's not really tactile at all, like the other buttons. And I'm sure they're doing that to try and keep you from hitting it accidentally. But I hate it. Yeah, you need a bath. You need a bath. You wanna go take a bath? You wanna get on the couch? You can get back on the couch? What do you think? You wanna get back on the couch? You want me to come get you? Here I come. I'm gonna come get you. It's incredible how many cameras look good in their spec, and you think that's the camera for me, and then you put your hands on it, and immediately you're like, no. And you know, if you're looking at cameras over $500, how it feels in your hand, that really matters. And how willing you're gonna be, like how heavy it is, or how compact it is, or whatever, that's gonna affect how willing you are to take that camera with you places. And that's what matters, because, you know, if the camera just stays at home all the time, well, what are you doing, right? Why do you even own it? So my experience with bar lenses, I mean, obviously they really did me right in this one, just because I made a stupid choice the first time around. I thought I would like the RX100, and turns out I really didn't. And they turned around this a6500 in a day, and it's been a great camera. But what I got out of it was, I don't need a new camera. And that's an awesome thing to get out of it. You can have all of your curiosity satisfied, and then you can be content with what you have. There are so many different cameras out there, and I mean, even I haven't tried that many. I used to have Nikon gear, and I loved it. Great gear. But that was back when I thought I was going to do professional photography, and I kind of learned along the way I didn't want to be a professional photographer. I'm a web designer now, you know, but I went to school for photography. So I came out of school thinking, all right, I have to have all the Nikon gear. I have to have the holy trinity of lenses. I have to have a big fat camera body. And what ended up happening was, I loved the pictures that came out of my, I had a Nikon D610. I loved the pictures that came out of it, but I wouldn't take it anywhere because it was huge. I mean, you can't roll into dinner and like slap your D610 on the table. You know what I mean? So I ended up selling all my gear, and I ended up trying the Sony a7 line. Once you've had a full frame sensor, you kind of don't want to go back to an APS-C size sensor. And I've noticed that with this a6500 that I've been testing this week. You walk into a camera store and they have the big wall of cameras and big wall of lenses, and you say, let me hold that one, and you look at it and you look around the store a little bit with the lens. That's not enough to choose a camera. You need to spend time with it. You need to spend 3 days, 5 days, and have that camera in your hands and get to know it. Get to know what the quirks are. So I'll tell you, the a6500 shoots amazing 4K video, and it shoots amazing 120 frames per second HD. But when it does that, the back screen dims, like really dims. Well, you can't even tell if your subject is in focus, and if you have continuous focus on, like it would be if you were normally shooting, you can't tell. I was finding myself looking at the background to see if it was out of focus, because that was all I could really see. If the background was in focus, then clearly my subject wasn't. You're probably not going to get that from watching reviews, right? Until you've had the camera in your hands and you've tried to use it for what you do, for what you like to shoot, and you realize, oh, this camera has some quirks and I definitely wouldn't pay for that. Or this camera is fantastic. It's what I want to own. In any discipline, for me, it could be web design, it could be development, it could be cameras, it could be travel, anything. It's important to let things change you and to kind of let things in and let them kind of reshape your mind. And it's okay for your mind to change on a topic, right? It's okay for your opinion to change. So anyway, that's my spiel on rentals. I really suggest you go check out Bar Lenses. I just can't say enough good things about those guys. It's not a sponsorship. I just think they're great. I think they're great at working with you. And honestly, if they would come out with some sort of like subscription model where you pay like a monthly fee and you get to rent, X number of days of like two or three camera bodies or lenses a month or something like that, I would totally do that. I think that would be awesome. Anyway, that's my spiel on renting. I think everybody should rent camera gear and try it out. So there you go.
What'd you do while I was gone? Did you cry? Did you wait for me longingly? Did you play with your tackle?